Hey, welcome back into Occupy Democrats, and it's awesome when Donald Trump's lips sink his own ships, but in some ways, because he's such a control freak, it's even funnier in this breaking story when people around him, especially top elected officials in the House, wind up saying a little too much, trying to make it sound like they're supporting Trump, but all they're really doing is just burying him. And one of my favorite clowns in the House is one Jim Jordan from Ohio. You know, the guy with the wrestling abuse scandal? That dude? Well, listen to what he just said, putting both feet firmly in mouth on behalf of Donald Trump right here.
What's next? He has been arguing since he first ran 10 years ago that he's going to end forever wars and put America first.
Yeah.
Now he says he's running Venezuela. He's totally open to putting boots back on the ground there. And he's signaling that Cuba and Colombia could be next. How is that America first?
And if you'd like Trump out of the White House, subscribe to the channel. But Jim's on the way to helping Trump on the way out right now.
I mean, look, I trust the president to make decisions that are in the best interest of Americans, of our country. This president gets results.
He is the definition of a sycophant.
When you have a guy who's not recognized as the head of state, who's head of a narco-terrorist criminal operation, who's cozying up to Iran and China, and he's doing it right here in our hemisphere, and that's consistent with keeping drugs off the streets, what fentanyl and other drugs have done to some families, I think is a good thing.
And then she just shuts him down regarding fentanyl.
You know, fentanyl doesn't come from Venezuela, and there's definitely
Cozying up to China and Iran, which are part of that, certainly does.
But again, cozying up to China and Iran, talking about what matters on the world stage, is different from what most people who voted for Donald Trump heard him say, which is, I'm going to focus on Americans,
Dan,
I'm going to focus on groceries, I'm going to put American dollars.
And President Trump has done
here.
that.
But he won't let it go.
President Trump said he'd cut taxes, he did. President Trump said he'd secure the border, he did. President Trump said he'd get men out of women's sports, he did. President Trump has said he'd lower gas prices, he did. President Trump said he'd make sure Iran did get nuclear capability, he did. He did all those things in 1 year's time. That is certainly making America great again. That is certainly consistent with what he said. So I think the American people appreciate that.
What's next?
President Trump and Republicans did what we said we would do.
There's no question that the Maduro mission was successful. What's next? And what is the American
And what I'm saying is we'll see, but I
tax
trust
dollar
this administration.
taxpayer on the hook
I
for?
trust Secretary Rubio. I trust Secretary Higgs. I trust President Trump in his making decisions that, again, are in the best interest of the American people.
And that's a very fair question by Dana. Yeah, what is next? Well, Representative Jim Hines is also on the committee with Jim Jordan and followed in right behind him to absolutely excoriate every single thing that Jordan and all of Trump world is about. Check this video out right here.
I hope you can play that interview over and over and over again, because he gave the game away, right? He said over and over again, I trust the president. I trust it. Now, he's being asked to explain an imperial adventure, right? I mean, you did a pretty good job. An imperial adventure from the guy who was going to be America first and not get into stupid wars. And his answer is, I trust the president. I trust the president. I trust the president. That is giving the game away, because 2/3 of my Republican colleagues in the Congress wake up every single morning and say, what can I do today to prove my loyalty to the president of the United States? And Jim Jordan, the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, seems to be unaware that our whole system, Dana, is set up to provide checks and balances, that the job of a member of Congress is to approach the president, regardless of that president's party, with skepticism, with pushback, with checks and balances. So again, I hope you can play that video over and over again so America can see the fact that they no longer have a Congress.
Yes, and that's always been the goal of Stephen Miller, J.D. Vance, Steve Bannon, all of the people around Donald Trump is and always has been about removing the three branches of government. That's what Pam Bondi and Kristi Noem and all them Tom Homan, that's what they're for. Donald Trump wants America to be his company. Oh, it'd be so great to have a businessman. Yes, but this is a businessman who's filed bankruptcy 6 times. Yet he still wants to commandeer, not commander-in-chief. He wants to commandeer everything. Every golf course, every business, every industry sector, and every country in Latin America or South America. That's Donald Trump, and Jim Jordan just summed it up. You guys like and share the video. Whew, stay frosty.